rock and roll. All right, party time.
Godzilla says that I should learn to fight my own battles, you know.
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. I am General Lemuel T. Howitzer, retired. My thing is, in my heyday, I fought monsters, and big monsters mostly. But today, we're going to talk about kind of little monsters, but actually very scary to a lot of people. Arachnids, otherwise spiders. Yeah, you know, big, and in some cases big spiders, but not like giant tarantulas or anything. But you know, again, poisonous, venomous, very, very deadly, dangerous spiders. Okay, and with that, I'm going to bring up my co-host, the lovely Miss Major Hazzard. Are you ready for this show?
I'm not ready for this show. And also, I don't like when you say when you were in your heyday. You're still in your heyday. You know, you're still very relevant. You're still very relevant. So I just want to remind you that you're still very relevant. No, I'm not.
Yes. I'm retired and, you know, life's over now. So.
It is not. But yes, I've been preparing. Roland is waiting in the wings. He has some surprises for me immediately after the show to calm me. And, you know, it's all right.
Roland.
Roland
you and Roland are becoming a thing now, huh?
We're not becoming a thing. We've been a thing. I don't know where you've been, General. We've been together for a long time. He's putting in the work, you know. He's putting in the work.
That some guys on TikTok actually asked him if he would be on their podcast.
Did he say yes?
Roland.
Did he say yes?
He did, but they haven't gotten back to him yet.
Okay. Well, I'll be there waiting in the wings for him. You know, we support each other. But
I'm surprised he didn't say anything about it to you, you know.
Well, he likes to surprise me with a lot of these things, so most likely you let the cat out of the bag, you know. But it's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about Roland Pruitt, who is a guy who's into kaiju, Japanese giant monsters. So, and he paints them. He actually paints kaiju paintings.
Absolutely.
And, you know, he's becoming a TikTok sensation, evidently.
He is. He definitely is.
He's very popular with Sandy D, who's also on this network. The Sandy D No Icing Show. She loves him. She likes to throw his clips on all the time. And again, he's getting offers from podcasts. I don't get offers from podcasts.
Well,
and for crying out loud, I've saved the world a few times.
I know you're jealous of Roland. We've been down this road. It's all right. Get over it.
I'm not jealous.
You're a little jealous of Roland. He's got this, you know, he's got the animal sex appeal, but you know,
sure.
He just does. He just
does. Yeah,
anyway,
I can see that animal magnetism.
Yes, that's right. Women love that kind of thing. He's amazing. He's so good to his mother. He cooks for her. He cleans for her. He's beautiful.
He still lives with her.
Because he's taking care of her, which is what a man should do. He's all brawn and he's all man. And, you know, I'm just letting you know. And he's really good in bed. So anyways, let's move on.
Wow. I just had a Revenge of the Nerds flashback.
He knows what a woman wants. I'll put it like that.
We know what we're doing.
He knows what a woman wants. Anyways, yeah, so he's here to hold my hand and other assorted parts through this one because I'm arachnophobic. So a lot of times,
are actually arachnophobic.
I'm
yes,
very
you suffer from arachnophobia.
It's a suffering. Thank you. It's
I found that out late last season. We did Tarantula, I think. Clint Eastwood killed the monster, and
yes, he did.
It's a great movie. So if you haven't seen that one, go back and look at it on YouTube. It's a fun show. We talk about Clint Eastwood a lot and napalm.
More than.
But in any case, I digress. We found out that you were arachnophobic, so I immediately went to find this film.
So immediately he went to harass me, but it's okay.
So I could help you to get past this fear. So I can help you to face your fear.
Okay, well, I'm going to work on it. I'm promising everyone that I'm going to try to emerge at least one tick on the radar, a little bit less than, upset than I am coming in. So
we're going to be calling you out a lot during this show because I want you to face your fear.
hopefully, if I haven't peed my panties, we'll see. We'll see how it
You
goes.
you didn't put on an adult diaper?
That's what I'm going to do right when we
we're in for some fun, folks.
We're in for a lot of fun today, and fun is a relative word. But we do have our expert here. We have Sergeant Havoc here, so that's going to help us get.
Sergeant Havoc is here, yes, and he is an expert on usually on giant bugs and giant, like ants and arachnids and stuff like that. But we decided to have him come in on this little arachnid jaunt as well. Yes. So let's bring him up, Sergeant Major Havoc.
Sergeant.
Howdy, folks.
Good to see you. Always good to see you, Sergeant.
Good to see you too, ma'am. And I gotta tell you, that that I know you got a thing going with Roland, but I don't know about the general, but I sure am jealous. So
thank you for being honest. Everyone's jealous. Everyone's jealous of Roland. Everyone's jealous of him because everyone loves him. He's successful in business. He sells his paintings, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Hazard. I really am. I'm happy for you. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
We'll see, General, if you can tolerate it. Because
the little pitter patter of Hazards and Pruitts running around.
We're working on it. We'll have some updates.
Most of our audience has no freaking idea what we're talking about.
Sergeant, I'll let you know something.
In-joke thing.
If Roland ever gives me trouble, I'm coming right to you because you also have that beautiful magnetism. You're very, very sexy. So trust me, if Roland gives me the slightest, if he gives me one sideways glance, I stand up for myself. I'm a powerful.
You gotta be careful because Havoc, he's a lone wolf.
I'll be on you like white on rice. I'll tell you that much.
Boy, you've changed a lot, Havoc.
Well, after my little trip through the multiverse,
like piranha to a side of beef.
The trip through the multiverse, he came back different. He came back different. I've noticed that.
It changes a man. Once you've been a cartoon and once you had an extra head.
Go watch the TikTok videos. You'll understand after you watch the TikTok videos. You'll understand.
There's a whole saga up there on TikTok if you follow Howitzer.
All kinds of inside references.
Strange trip it was.
No idea what's going on.
Okay,
let's get into our
timeline about that
long time ago.
Let's talk
we'll
about
move on into the arachnophobia.
He's no longer a lone wolf.
No longer.
He's like in Hazzard.
That's right.
So yeah,
I'm a whole lot of woman, Sergeant. You gotta make sure you're ready because I'm a whole lot of woman. I need a whole lot of man.
She is a whole lot of woman.
A whole lot of woman. I was an astronaut and everything.
A whole lot of roses.
The fact that Roland Pruitt is a whole lot of man just tickles me for some reason.
You haven't seen him naked, with all due respect.
Oh, and I don't want to.
I
really don't want to.
Is he into threesomes, by the way? Is he?
He does. He does. No, he does. I'll write you after the show, Sergeant. Thank you for mentioning it first.
By the way, this is not a family-friendly show. I gotta warn you ahead of time. There is adult humor, adult entertainment. Sometimes we curse when we don't mean to. And there are sometimes graphic, gory scenes from movies in our timeline. We do a timeline from the beginning of the film to the end. So if you don't want spoilers, don't watch the show till the end because you'll get spoilers. Because we show the whole darn thing. We're the Cliff Notes of horror movies.
That's right. Cliff Notes.
Training films, I call them.
Absolutely.
So, this one is actually produced by Steven Spielberg and directed by Frank Marshall, one of his lieutenants. So it starts out with Jerry Manley. I love that name, Jerry Manley. And he's the first one to die in the film, which I think is ironic. Jerry Manley goes out to the South American jungle to meet with a doctor, Dr. Atherton. Why does it look so dark?
I don't know. That's what the slides look like. I don't even know.
That looks darker than it should. Anyway. So he goes out and he meets Dr. Atherton, and they take a helicopter to the place where they're going, which is way out in the jungle, South American jungle, where there's species that we've never identified before. And that's the whole thing. The doctor is trying to find some species that have never been identified before, so he becomes famous. He's a fame guy. He likes fame. So they set up a thing, these bucket kind of things. for things that die or get gassed. They gas the trees and stuff, and they fall down into the buckets, and they can categorize them and label them and all that. And again, this is poison that they're shooting up in the trees, so it should kill everything. But actually, there's a couple of funks, and they've got some tarantulas, some big nasty spiders, very poisonous spiders, venomous, that survive. The poison wasn't strong enough to kill them. And Manley's photographing the whole thing. He's photographing the thing. He's a professional photographer from a small town. I think a small California town somewhere. So they're gassing the trees. He's taking pictures of the spider webs. He's taking pictures of the whole gassing process.
Yep.
There it is. The doctor starts gassing. There we go.
This fella looks like the poor man's Bill Paxton.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he does kind of have a Bill Paxton kind of quality about him.
Game over, man. Game over.
Spiders dropping out of the sky. Twister. So anyway, that's my very lousy Bill Paxton impersonation. I do some good impersonations, but I do some lousy ones too. So yeah, these spiders and butterflies and things are just falling right out of the sky, and it's raining insects. And they're cataloging them. They're getting them. And again, you get these two spiders, and they're alive, man. It's like, oh, dude, that's some cool stuff. Shoot me some more of that. Nice California spiders talk. So he's taking pictures. Julian Sand is playing Dr. Atherton. We just lost him, unfortunately, a couple of months ago. Yep. That's one of the other reasons why I booked this particular show for now, because I wanted to kind of give a little homage to Julian Sand for one of his good performances.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very good in this. So there he is. He's got a live specimen to take back with him to his lab. What he doesn't realize is the husband is still in the trees watching, and he's not happy. So he sneaks into Jerry Manley's tent while they're doing a little inspecting of specimens and stuff. Manley is suffering from a jungle fever, and he's not feeling very well. So the spider sneaks into his tent. Hey, are you watching this?
I'm going like this right now the whole time. I don't want to even talk about.
This is a good scene. This is a good part. He crawls up his leg, and he looks at the cover just in my brain. Bite his thigh. It just suckers in his, and he's, and he does a little like dance there, and he bites his own tongue. That's one of the things that one of these spiders has bitten you because you bite your tongue in half. So they all bleed from the side of their mouth.
Yeah.
So they find him, and he's dead. He dies in seconds. He's a cardiac arrest. The spider's venom makes you go into cardiac arrest. So they put him in a box, and they ship him back to his hometown. What is it? Canaima. That's it.
Canaima. Yep.
That's very important. We got to remember that name, Canaima, because it's a very small town in California.
Yeah, we're going to hang out with the Lions there. The Rotary Club.
There you go.
And the Masons.
The Masons, yes. The what's the guys with the red fezzes?
Oh, that's the Shriners.
The Shriners. There you go. The
Shriners. They ride the little bikes on the parades. Yep.
Now here's the local coroner. He's played by character actor Roy Brocksmith. I had that written down there because I didn't want to say something wrong here. I've got all these names written down here so we can talk about them. Jerry Manley was Mark Taylor. Nice little cameo by Mark Taylor. He's done a lot of television and stuff. All the people in this movie have gone on to do like a lot of television stuff and a lot of movies and things. And again, there's some familiar faces that we'll see down the line. He's one of them. You see him in a lot of stuff. He's a good character actor. So he calls the family after they look at the body. The funny thing is they don't show the body for like 5 minutes here. So they keep you wondering. And then they show you the body. It's like, oh, okay, now I get it. And the spider they put holes in the side of the wooden box so they could put the poles through. And right before they put the poles in, the spider snuck right in there. He's really good around sneaking around.
That's what they all do. That's why I can't tolerate them, because you never know where you are. Don't even do it, because I'm telling you, they could be anywhere. They could be anywhere.
He's sneaking out the doggy door right now. See? Look at him. Look at him, Hazzard. He's sneaking right out the dolly door.
I wish I hadn't looked. I wish I hadn't.
So here's the funny thing. The minute he goes out of the doggy door, he gets picked up, swooped up by a crow, taken up into the sky, and of course, he bites the crow, and the crow dies midair and falls right next to Jeff Daniels' property. Because Jeff Daniels is playing Ross Jennings, and him and Molly Jennings are like the couple that are the middle of this movie. I mean, they're the center of the movie. So they have moved to this little town from San Francisco because he was told that the doctor in this town was going to retire, and he could become the new doctor, the new town doctor. So he's all excited about that. And they have a wonderful scene where the spider is fallen underneath the crow in the hay and in the woods there, and the son almost touches it. He goes and he sees the crow. He's like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, come over here. Look at this." And you think the kid's going to get bitten, and of course he doesn't. He's like, "Oh, come back here. Come on." And he doesn't get bitten. They do this a lot in film. They put the line out. They really they're really in, and then the person doesn't get bit. Sometimes the people do get bit though. So, but they keep you guessing. So the spider sneaks into the barn of this house that they've moved into. He has decided to make his home in the barn there. So that night, the Jennings have a little talk about, living there and how life is going to be different. And he's going to have a wonderful practice here in this small town. Everybody's going to know him, and it's going to be nice. And they do the Ficky Waka. Kind of what Hazzard does with Roland.
Thank you for the Roland shout out, and thank you for embracing that. Thank you.
Again, it kind of makes me shudder, but there it is. Yeah. So they do the Ficky Waka.
I threw up in my mouth just a little bit there.
and what's ironic is out in the barn, the spider has found a nice little house spider.
And they're doing the Ficky Waka.
And they do the Ficky Waka at the same time. You see that, Hazzard? That's spider love.
This is how it all went awry, because when they have the babies, that's when they
spider love.
Now how they didn't get an R rating on this scene, I don't know.
I know.
That is spider porn right there.
Naked spiders doing it.
I gotta take it off the air. It's too much.
Spider porn. Spider porn. That's whatever that spider porn can. So we meet Dr. Metcalf, who's played by legendary character actor, I've forgotten his name, Henry Jones. Henry Jones. If you watched any TV from the 60s, oh my God, Henry Jones was there. He was on Bewitched, he was on Lost in Space, he was on Voyage at the Bottom of the Sea, he was on all the shows from the 1960s, man. He was a great character actor. And I loved seeing him in this.
Yeah.
He's actually, he's got to be up in his upper 80s in this.
Yeah.
But he's wonderful in this. He's one of the best characters in this.
Yep.
So Henry Jones, shout out to him. Great character actor. He tells Jeff Daniels, I'm not going to retire because I know that friends of mine retired and 6 months later they're dead. That's because I'm not retiring. So Jeff's like, well, wait a minute, what am I going to do? And he goes outside, and then we see the sheriff of the town, Deputy Dog himself, played by Stuart Pankin. Stuart Pankin's another one of those character actors that shows up in a lot of stuff.
Stuart Pankin.
And he's an idiot in this, which is fun, And he is saved. Jeff Daniels is saved by town member Mary Carver, played by Margaret Hollins. And she becomes his first patient. And he says, wow, you are fit as a fiddle. You are stronger than I am. And she says, well, the doc's giving me medicine for a heart murmur. And he's like, no, you don't need these. You're fit as a fiddle. You don't need these. And he takes them away. His wife goes out into the barn to take some pictures. She's a photographer. She's an amateur photographer, wants to be a real photographer. But she takes some pictures of some spider webs that our spider has built up in the barn, because that's interesting looking. What she doesn't know is how that whole upper level of the barn now is all spider webbed up. She didn't see that part. She just saw a cool little spider web in the corner and she took pictures of it. So she told him about it at dinner that night. And of course, he's like, well, I'm arachnophobic. I don't want to go out there and take a look at that. No, really? You got to take a look at it. I'm sorry. I just hiccuped when I was talking to him. I don't know where that came from. Peach tea, I guess.
That peach tea, yep.
Yeah, it's peach tea. So she talks him into going out there. She's and she gets him out there. And he tells her this story from when he was younger about how he was attacked by a large spider and it's caused arachnophobia in him. He does not like spiders at all. He can't stand them. So he has arachnophobia. So he goes to climb up there to take a look at the thing, and something like a rat or something flies out at him. I can't remember what it was. I just watched this 2 days ago, and I can't remember what it was. Something flies out at him. It's a scare. He falls, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I brought you out here."
Yeah, I think it was a rat. Yeah.
Yeah, a rat. I think. Yeah.
Dead rat. Yeah.
So Mary throws him a party at her house so that him and his wife can meet the townspeople. And two of the people that are there are Manley's parents, who didn't even get to see the body because it was so desiccated. Desiccated is a good word for that. He was so desiccated, they didn't want him to see the body. So now she's a raging alcoholic. And Mary gets bitten by a spider. And Dr. Manley goes and checks on her because he was supposed to hear from her. And he goes and checks on her and he finds her dead in her house. And it's like, well, wait a minute. She was fit as a fiddle. There's no reason for this. And the doctor, Dr. Jones, Dr. Metcalf shows up and he's like, what? You told her you took away the pill she was taking? I'm going to get you for malpractice and all this. And he's just being a nasty, he's just being mean and nasty. And of course, the sheriff's backing him up because everybody in a small town, they're like that. And the coroner's backing him up. So they just write it off, that she had a heart attack. And Daniel says, no, we got to do an autopsy. We're not cutting her up. You don't know, you shitty doctors. So again, wonderful little piece of acting. Henry Jones plays sarcasm and anger real well.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Daniels is no slouch. Unfortunately, though, he's tainted his career by doing Dumb and Dumber. So
yeah.
He even says, I'll be remembered for being the guy on the toilet in Dumb and Dumber. He's had so many great roles and great films and stuff. So they got the funeral. We see a lot of funerals in this movie because a lot of people die from spider bites. Because what has happened here is that the mating spiders have created a strain of house spiders. They're very small. They're not big. They're not tarantula size. They're very small. But if they bite you, you go through that cardiac arrest and you bite your tongue in half. So these things are nasty. I mean, they're really very poisonous, very dangerous, but they look like little harmless house spiders, little brown spiders. So anyway, the coach says, I'll throw you I'll throw you a bone. And then we meet Delbert McClintock. Now, I think that's actually a nod to a John Wayne. Isn't there a John Wayne movie called McClintock?
Yep.
I think so. So Delbert McClintock, I think, is a nod to John Wayne. And he's very John Wayne in this. He plays things very very manly and very rugged, almost over the top rugged manly, which is really funny because it's John Goodman. And it's John Goodman in his heyday. This was the movie. We talked about Revenge of the Nerds earlier. He was the coach in Revenge of the Nerds. And then, of course, he got the job on Roseanne as the husband, Dan. And, this is him in his heyday.
Yep.
So he comes in to check the basement, which they're trying to turn into a wine cellar. And the wood is bad wood. And they think it's termites. And he comes in, take a look at it, and goes, no, bad wood. After a big long scene, it's just bad wood. Sometimes it's termites, sometimes bad wood. You just got bad wood. So, all right. So the coach takes him in, and the job for the doctor is turn left and cough, boys. he gets the
short arm inspection.
Yes, and the expression says it all. I get to touch testicles.
What they used to call back in basics, short arm inspection.
So after the checkup, they all go outside talking like this. And they're getting ready for practice. And he calls one of the guys out. The guy grabs his helmet. And what we don't know, or what they don't know, is that a spider, one of these deadly spiders, has actually fallen into his helmet there. He puts the helmet on, and the spider bites him. Mm. And the doc is there in the stands because he was there doing the testing. So he falls down when he gets hit, and he doesn't get back up. They all get around him. The doc comes down, and he's dead. And they don't know why. And it's a mystery. And I love this. They go from that tableau to this tableau. They go right from the game to the funeral, which is really fun. And
we bury him quick in this town.
That was a nice little touch. Anyway, if nobody else got it, I did.
Nah, that's cool.
So the people in the town are now calling him Dr. Death because people are dying every time he's around. And the kids are a little upset by it because they're being, poked fun at. Kids can be mean, Their daddy's Dr. Death. Speaking of Dr. Death, what a segue. Dr. Metcalf is on his treadmill, and in bed is his wife. And hey, it's Happy Gilmore's grandma.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
That is Frances Bay. Again, she's Grandma Gilmore, but she's also McCoy's wife. Or Metcalf, McCoy. Metcalf's, I'm a doctor, damn it. Metcalf's wife. And she's sitting there reading a book, and she's telling him, you shouldn't be so mean and nasty and cranky all the time. Something like that. Anyway, he's like, I'm going to do what I want. And we see one of those brown spiders get into his slipper. It almost bites him on the treadmill, but then it slides back, and then it goes into his slipper. And he puts his toe in the slipper, and ow! Damn spider bit me. Damn spider bit me. There we go. That's the Henry Jones voice. Margaret, I'm going in the coronary attraction. So he complains about the spider bite in front of his wife, which is good because she's the one that tells the other doc, that it was a spider bite. And that's what sets them looking for spider bites, which is good because they need to. So, yeah, he goes into immediate cardiac arrest and he dies in seconds. Mm. So she calls the doc while he's still alive, but he doesn't get there in time. The next time we see him at the doctor's house, the coroner's already there and the sheriff. And there's some other guy in this. I don't know what kind of public official he is. That's him there in the gray suit. Mm-hmm. I want to say he's the mayor, but there's another credit in the credits saying mayor blah blah blah. So it's not mayor. Maybe he's a governor or something. I don't know who he is, but he's some kind of government official, and he's actually a big help to the doc from this point on, because he goes along with the doc, right away. They check out the spider bite on the foot, on the toe, because of what the wife said, and yeah. So now they know they're looking for a spider, a deadly spider. But up till now we haven't had a small spider deadly enough to kill somebody. You have to fall into a nest of black widows to get killed. And you got to be weak or a kid. Not one spider usually can't kill you. It'll make you sick, but it can't kill you. So the other guy, played by, he's called Milton Briggs. He's played by James Handy, another character actor. He says, yeah, there was enough toxin in that thing to kill a bull elephant. So they're like, oh man, well, we're looking for a really deadly, dangerous spider. And then they have a sleepover scene over at the coach's house. The coach's kids, like the doctor's Jennings kids. So they have this big sleepover, and we have this again. They're throwing that rod out. Oh, spider's going to kill one of them. And the spider, a lot of interesting imagery of the spider going down from the ceiling onto a doll's face, which is really creepy. And then getting close to the girl's foot, and then boom, a book falls down on it. Squatch. There's that doll, the creepy doll face with a spider on it. So a lot of creepy imagery, but dead end. Book on top of the spider.
Yep.
So that one's dead. But there's a lot of them. And then we get to where I am trying to see what this is. Oh, okay. Jeff Daniels thinks he sees a spider, and it's a cricket. And crickets are good luck. And he lets it outside.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the spiders are moving into his basement where the wine cellar is. It shows them taking the egg sack from the new egg sack from the barn into the cellar, into the wine cellar with the bad boy.
I knew we were moving on up or down.
Yeah. So, Dr. Atherton gets a call from Dr. Jennings. And he says, was it Kanema? Camara? Whatever. He says the town name, and it jogs the memory of the doctor, but he can't remember where he knows that from. But he goes, okay, well, if you've got a spider problem, I'll send my assistant. So he sends his assistant. And that's Chris Collins. He's played by Brian McNamara. Now, Brian McNamara is a kid in this, but about 10 years later, he became a big television actor. He did a lot of TV after this when he became a man, when he grew older. So he's like a huge television actor. He's been everywhere. He's been on everything.
Yeah.
But in this, he's just, he looks like, well, he's probably like 31, 32, but they made him look like like he's 20, 22, like he's a college student. So anyway, he comes in and they're digging up the bodies and they're checking out the bodies. And sure enough, they find spider bites on the hand of Mary and on the neck of the boy from the football field. They've got their connection. It is a spider, and it's a deadly spider. And it's probably a strain of deadly spiders. So they call Julian Sands back up, Dr. Atherton, and now he's interested. And they make the connection that Jerry Manley, this is his hometown. Jerry Manley was the photographer that got killed at the beginning of the film.
Yep. Desiccated.
So now it all's making sense. So Dr. Atherton says, I'm on my way. I'll be there because he's British. So I can't see this slide.
It's Jeff Daniels staring at what looks like a spider.
Oh, okay. He sees the spider on the wall. What he thinks is a spider on the wall, and he goes over to it, and it's a coat. It's the shadow of a coat hanger.
Coat hanger. Yep.
Yeah, that was a nice scene too. Nice little imagery. Because it does look like spider from a distance. So they go to the Mary's house, I believe it is. Or no, it's the doctor's house. They go to the doctor's house looking for spiders. And they find a dead one, or the sheriff finds a dead one while eating cereal in their kitchen. He just dives into a box of cereal and starts eating it, and boom, there's a spider in there. Ah! Freaks out. Nice little scary scene, but it's a dead spider. So they can't really, And then the coach, we have a scene where the coach's daughter is showering and a spider drops down on her face. She doesn't feel it on her face at first. Then she feels it on her stomach when it's on her stomach, and she freaks out. And he's about to get bit on his ass because he's on a.
Uh-oh.
I'm back. He's on the toilet, and there's a spider on the bottom of the toilet, and she screams. He comes running out, so they both dodge the bullet again. It's another false alarm. Well, actually, again, it's not a false alarm, but they're lucky. They're damn lucky. Now, in Mary's house, they're looking in Mary's house now. There's a living spider. They find one, and they put a cup over it. So they capture it. Put a cup over it, capture it. They got it. Now they've got their live specimen. But Jeff Daniels is just horrified. You can see he's just horrified because these spiders are intelligent, man. They're like, if you move towards it, it starts moving towards you. These spiders are very intelligent. Intelligent spiders, just kind of like the sharks are very intelligent in the Jaws movies. So Delbert goes to the coach's house, and he sees one of the spiders outside, and he sprays it with his special spray, and it doesn't kill it. So he's very upset by that. He ends up squashing it with his boot. So he's got to use the serious stuff.
Yep.
With these suckers. They do tests on the spider. Venom is massive. They inject a mouse with this venom, and he's dead in seconds. And he is it looks like a very painful death, too.
Yeah. So
it's confirmed. Yeah, these spiders have somehow mated with a spider that hitched a ride in Jerry Manley's body from, South America. So now they're looking for spiders. And they figure it probably started at the coroner's office. So they're headed to the coroner's office. The doctor and the sheriff, right? No, the sheriff goes with Dr. Atherton. But the assistant and Delbert, that's it. The assistant to Dr. Atherton, Delbert, they're heading to the coroner's house to talk to him about the spiders. And there's the coroner and his wife. And the wife actually was on the Drew Carey show as the secretary. So she's another good character actress. And as the doctor is heading out of the office there, he sees the wife's photograph of the web in the barn. And he goes, take me there. And the sheriff takes him to the Jennings house. Right, so here heading in different directions. There's the web. So he recognizes the pattern of the web from the one that he's got in his office. And he says, that's where we got to go. So now the plot thickens. They're heading in two different directions. And as the coroner and his wife are preparing to watch television, they're making some popcorn. You see a spider go into the popcorn bowl. So when they show up at the house, the two of them are dead. They were bitten by the spiders while they were watching TV. Now, what I don't get is why one of them didn't see the other one get bit and freak out and bite his tongue in half, or her put on tongue in half and get out of that chair. But they both evidently just stayed there and let the spiders bite them. And that is obviously a prosthetic or a fake head for the coroner. She's actually still there. She's in the chair, the actress. But he's got because a spider comes out of his nose or his mouth or something. So they had to use like a rubber double of the actor. Yeah. And I understand that. Some actors just don't like to have spiders into whatever.
Come crawling
all over.
Yeah.
Obviously, the daughter of the coach had no problem with it. She had one on her face, for crying out loud. So outside of the coroner's office, they go, okay, we got to figure out where this thing started from. And they go, okay, here's where the coach and the football player died. Here's Mary's house. And it all is surrounded Jennings' home. He goes, that's my house in the middle. He goes, they came from here. He goes, that's my house.
Oh, great.
So yeah.
He
figures the barn. They're in the barn. So by that time, the doctor's already gotten to the barn. He says, he tells the sheriff, go get the others. And he's there by himself, like an idiot. He figures, hey, I know spiders. I know what I'm doing. He doesn't realize this is no ordinary spider he's dealing with. This spider's got a noggin on him. He's got brains. So yeah, he's taunting the spider, tapping the web. Come on, come to daddy. Come on. And he says, oh, you've been busy. There's rats and cats and everything in the web there. So the spider, jumps out and bites the hell out of him. And that's it. He's gone. And then something interesting happens about a minute later. So they get to the house. They run to the house to get the family out. Delbert decides to go into the barn where he thinks the infestation is. He decides to get some of his deadly juice, poison, bug killer, atomic powered bug killer, whatever it is. And
some of that expired DDT.
Yeah. So he gets the can of stuff and he goes into the barn, just dressed as he is, right? You know where I'm going with this. I know it. Anyway, he goes into the barn and sure enough, the doc falls out. He's like, oh my God, Doc. And the doc is completely webbed up. This spider webbed him up in like 30 seconds. I don't know how. And there's like 3 or 4 or 5 spiders in the web there. So, it's nasty. And again, they webbed the hell out of him in just like a minute. Definitely not enough time to web him up the way they did. Anyway, he's like cotton candy webbed up. I mean, he's like really webbed up. So they go in the house, and the minute they get in the house, that's when the spiders go, uh-oh, they're here. We got to come out. Again, very smart spiders. So they start popping out from all corners. Kids, make your way to me slowly. Spiders start coming out of crevices in the ceiling. They're on Michael J. Fox's face on the TV. They're coming out from all angles. Now, why they didn't come out earlier and eat the kids and the wife ahead of time, I have no idea. Because obviously there's a lot of them there in the house. They've been there for a while. So they slowly make their way upstairs. They don't make their way to the front door. They make their way upstairs. Evidently, there's too many spiders blocking the door path. So go figure. So they go up into the bathroom. Spiders are coming in. And like 2 seconds later, John Goodman shows up fully outfitted in another outfit. Man, he put those clothes on fast. And again, the stuff that he's shooting at these spiders now is burning them. It's like acid. So Daniels gets cut off from his family. The spiders start coming down the window where they're getting out, and he can't get out the window. So he tries to get out the hallway. He ends up falling over the banister because they're coming down from the ceiling everywhere, and he's freaking out. And he falls right through the floor of that bad wood into the cellar, into the wine cellar. So now he's down in the wine cellar. Hey, where's Hazzard? It's a good thing. Look at that spider coming out.
I'm here, but you have to understand, I cannot be looking at what I'm seeing.
Dang, so face your fear. Look at that spider.
I'm sure there's a terrible, terrible picture on there, but I just,
there's two of them.
Not to let you bully me.
Look how scared Jeff Daniels looks. See, now she's laughing. I know she's not that arachnophobic. She's a little arachnophobic.
I'm laughing because I'm terrified. I'm terrified.
It's a terrified laughter.
She's getting tickled by Roland.
It's like nervous laughter,
She's getting tickled by Roland.
There's a Hollywood egg sack if I've ever seen one.
Okay.
You can make of that what you want. Look at those bottles, those phallic bottles popping out too. The big egg sack with a phallic bottle popping out of the middle. So here comes the spider, the big one. Yeah,
big giant.
So he freaks out. A rack of bottles comes down on top of him. They have an interesting scene where he and the spider both roll off from their stomach to their roll off their back to their stomach. So they can fight each other. It's like a mirror image thing. And he starts throwing the bottles and he's looking at the bottles going, oh no, I can't throw that one. He's picking which bottles to throw. And then he gets a can of like Krylon spray paint or thinner or something. And he uses that as a torch, blowtorch. Good man. Way to make a weapon with what you got, MacGyver.
Yep.
And he's spraying all around there, and he's supposedly killing the spider. He thinks he's killing the spider. Then he hears it thumping around up in the ceiling, Hey, Hazzard, you see them spider eyes?
Oh, yes, unfortunately.
They're like little puppy dog eyes. Oh, look at them.
Yeah, but then they bite you, and then you die a horrible death, Let's get it off of that one. Let's move along. Let's move on, please.
So he hears it crawling around in the ductwork up above his head. So he goes and he looks out there. And if they keep the camera on this for like a minute, that damn spider's going to jump out. And they just really stretch it out. And sure enough, yep, it comes right out. Mm-hmm. And it jumps on him, and he's freaking out, and he throws it, and it's running around. And I can't see.
Spider's crawling up his leg.
Yeah, it's making its way. Making its way up his leg, and he gets on a board that's laying over him, and he hits the board, and the spider goes right in the fire. And hey, look at that egg sac popping open. All them spiders coming out.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Everyone's worst nightmare.
It's go time.
It's the worst nightmare that we have.
So he's going to go and burn the egg sac now, but that spider is still alive. It's on fire, by God, but it's still running at him.
Of course it is. That's what they do.
And it's running at him, and it runs, and it jumps. Somehow it jumps, and he gets, just as it jumps, he gets the nail gun shooter that he was using earlier in the film that showed the bad wood. And he I don't know how he gets the trajectory just right, but he shoots. Wow, you're going too fast. We're already in San Francisco. I know you got to go soon, but come on. So he shoots a spider and it lands right in the egg sac. What's that?
Okay. I was saying I can't look at the slides for very long. It's very traumatizing.
The spider's on fire and he's got a big nail through it.
Alive. I can smell it.
A nail through it.
He hits the egg sac and it burns the egg sac up. That's it. End of story.
Okay.
So the spiders have short lives. They only live for a couple of days. So all the spiders that came out before are dead now. And John Goodman, go back one slide. John Goodman saves him from the basement, pulls him out, and he's faced his fear and he's conquered. And we go right to San Francisco. They decide to go back to San Francisco from the small town. And there's a burnt bottle of wine there, and they're drinking wine. They're going, you know what? We like it here in San Francisco. We're good here.
Exactly.
And that's the end of the movie.
And that's how it goes, folks. That's how it goes.
There it is. Nice ending. Quickly ties everything out.
It's all tied together. That was the worst one. It was traumatizing, but I survived technically.
See, you got through it.
I technically survived.
You got through it.
That's
probably going to be the worst movie about spiders we ever show on this show. Oh no! Wait a minute. There's 8-legged freaks. Wait a minute.
There you go.
Yep.
So we got to do 8-legged freaks next season.
You see, every time.
That's a good one.
You think it's the worst. There's always something worse.
Kingdom of the Spiders, William Shatner. Yeah. That's going to be on the list sometime down the line. Anyway, so again, this kind of thing. It's such a far-fetched. How in the hell will a spider ever hitchhike a ride to America and start a new strain of deadly species of spider in a small town? Come on.
It could happen.
Only in a Frank Marshall, Steven Spielberg movie, produced by Kathleen Kennedy. So there it is, folks. Arachnophobia. Jeff Daniels before he was saddled with Dumb and Dumber. Something like that.
Boy.
Dumb and Dumber 2, TOO.
And somehow Major Millie survived.
She did. I'm so proud of you.
Because I got the strong arms of two men to help lull me to sleep tonight. Yes, you're one of them, Sergeant.
Oh my God.
You're one of them, Sergeant.
I don't want to know anymore. So
we're gonna need HR to sign off on this one.
Hazzard.
What's that?
I'm proud of you. I want you to know that.
I'm very proud of myself too. I'm very proud.
We're gonna get you to square one here. Where you can fight anything.
Well, no worries, I don't know about that. I got to go to a hypnotherapist. Sandy on this place. She said we got to go to
therapy.
So I'm going to try anything. I got to try something.
Sounds like you're going into your kitchen for a cup of coffee or something.
It's just me and Roland. Don't worry about it. You ever heard of Nunya? You ever heard Nunya? It's called Nunya Business. That's my
impersonation of Roland. Yeah, Roland's here. He's in your kitchen.
Okay, we got to go. We got no icing.
All right.
You
take care. Thank you, all, for joining us for this Arachnophobia timeline on Big Monster Briefing Room. Keep an eye out for those big monsters and those little Arachnophobia type monsters.